Alrighty, I am sitting here with.
I'm Bobby Tillman, State Senate candidate for District 3 here in Southeast Texas.
Fantastic. Okay, and are you a Democrat or a Republican?
I am a progressive Democrat.
A progressive Democrat.
That's what they told me on my little test that I took. Anyway.
You took a test?
Yeah, they make you do a test.
No way.
Yeah, they want to see what your values are.
I've got to get my hands on this test.
Well, it's not really a test. I guess it's a survey.
Oh, okay.
Survey.
All right. So, with progressive Democrat, what does that entail? Can you explain that to me a little bit?
You know what? I mean, what it means to me is just you stand up for everybody.
Okay.
That's
I like
it. Yeah, I mean, that's what I mean. Yeah, I didn't know I was progressive. I just thought that I cared about everybody, no matter what you are, race, religion, sex, orientation, or whatever. I feel like we all have the inalienable rights for everybody.
I love that. About tonight, the unlabeled event, do you think that this is good for the community?
I think it's great. I mean, first of all, I'm not just a Senate candidate. I'm a person. I'm a rancher. I'm a farmer. I'm a property owner. Everybody in this room that's up here on stage for candidate, what party you are, is going to be a representation of me, or represent me in some way or the other. If I win or lose, if I win, I got to represent the other side too. If I lose, I got to listen to what they got to say.
Right.
So,
what did you enjoy most about tonight's event?
I like that it's open for everybody. I mean, if you notice in the other room, we had no party.
Oh, yeah, that's a good point.
We all sat around having lunch and having a drink with each other, talking, handshaking, exchanging information. So now afterwards, we didn't tell what party we were, but we had conversations beforehand. And nobody knew who what was, and there was no name calling, no finger pointing. I didn't get nobody,
right.
badmouth me or nothing, and didn't call me that damn Democrat, so it was good.
No, not here. Not
it
here.
was
Not
good.
with
It
us.
was good. Everybody, it was great. It was really good.
Not with
crowd.
unlabeled. I did hear from a few other candidates. They were worried that it was going to be a hostile environment.
I was told before I got here, be wary.
Really?
Yeah, they're like, you know what? They're going to try to trap you into something or whatever. Try to get. And I'm like, you can't trap somebody if you don't know. I only know so much information.
Right.
So you can ask me a question, and I'm not going to tell you something I don't know about.
Exactly.
I'm going to say I don't know about it. So if that alienates my party, and it does whatever. But this is awesome. This is what every forum should do.
Thank you.
And this is, I guess, the first one, right?
Yes, this is the very first.
You
We're
know,
hoping to have more.
It went very well, considering it was the first one. There's
Absolutely.
a few bugs on the electronic stuff.
Yeah, with the app kind of glitched out a little bit here and
But
there.
nah,
but
this is perfect. This is what we need. I mean, we need more of it, because I guarantee you, everybody in this event has more in common than we do with the billionaires that are trying to lead our way and tell us how to live. Period.
Absolutely. I think that's a huge part of what we were trying to do, is bring people together. And the fact that you're talking about on the other side, outside of the event, everyone's mingling, everyone's being just people, like what you said a second ago. I'm just a person.
I grew up where you told somebody something, you'd handshake deals, and you talk, you do this, you go to the feed store, you go to construction sites, you go here. Nobody's ever asked me for my party affiliation.
Really?
And now, when I go and talk to somebody,
Yeah.
tell them what I'm running for, the first thing out of their mouth is, are you Democrat or Republican?
And honestly, the point of this event is partially, we often don't know what it even means to be a Democrat or a Republican. I think that's a huge part of what we were trying to do today.
You're going to get me in trouble with my party, because I'm the same way.
Oh, and that's not the point. We're not trying to get anybody in trouble.
And I don't care. Listen, I'm going to be myself. I believe people should vote for what's best for not just yourself, but for your community. Okay? So, will I cross party lines? I don't know. So, I mean, I'm not going to say that I'm going to vote.
Well, I mean, at this point, it's kind of hard not to. Everything is so separated, and we're being so.
Well, so far, I mean, I do represent the party, and I love the party, and but I'm not going to say, if somebody comes out, and has an issue, or something goes wrong, I'm not going to still support somebody that I don't believe in. That's all I'm saying. So I'm a Democrat. I'm a progressive Democrat, and I am going to support the party. I'm going to vote for my party, and I'm going to lead my party. But like I said, if something like I think that I can't think the main senator or whatever had some issues come up, you got to drop them. So you got to, you got to do what's right. And like I said, you got to do what's right. Not for me. I got friends that vote just for themselves. I'm like, what about your kids? What about your wife? I'm like, I'm like, dude, really? I'm like, so, but that's a whole nother subject.
Well, with that being said, I just blanked out. We can edit this out.
That's okay. I do that all the time.
What was I say?
Talking about voting for your self-interest.
And Democrats. Okay, I can't remember. Anyway, we'll move on. So we'll leave with this question. When you were coming to this event, maybe on your drive here,
When my car was overheating.
When your car was overheating and you were on your way.
I was going, I gotta make it. I can't not show. So
thank you for being
that was
so
my
committed.
thought. I'm like, I would pull over and put some water.
Committed.
I put some water in my car. I'm like, I can't just be a no-show. I can't just say I didn't make it.
Thank you for taking it seriously, truly, from the bottom of our hearts.
This is a serious thing. Like I said, I never inspired to be a senator. I'm just a hard-working construction worker. I've owned my business as a business owner, got in the cattle ranch business, sit at home, sit on the couch, watching old westerns, relaxing, having a good time, and I just had enough. I'm sick of being tired and just not. And my mom always told me, you don't like something, do something.
Absolutely.
Period.
If you don't like something, do something.
Don't like something, you do something.
I love that.
And I'm an old man. You look back at history and you say, what would I have done? I'd have done this. I'd have done that. That's all talk.
In your opinion, do you think that we should have more of these events?
I think you should have them. Every event should be like this.
Really?
Yes.
You think every political event?
Every political event should be no parties. And saying that, I go to Republican forums uninvited. And
it's funny. I know a lot of Democrats that do.
I go and
I think that I'm not hearing I might cut this out. I don't know, but I'm not hearing a lot of Republicans that are doing the same thing.
That I heard that from Republicans.
Well, I mean, I work for the Republican Party, so.
What is his name? Briscoe Kane?
Yes.
I went to an event with him, and he come in and goes, man, I can't believe, he goes, man, that is awesome that you're here. He goes, we need to do more of that. He goes, that's what we need. I go, dude, I said, just because you have affiliation and you think one way, I said, we still got to be people.
We have to have.
When this election's over,
Yes.
You're going to represent me or I'm going to represent you, period.
Somebody's going to be representing someone, and we need to know who that is.
And that's democracy.
Yeah.
Democracy isn't about what you want. It's about who wins.
Exactly.
So you don't like it, do something.
Exactly. Oh, I think I remembered my. Shoot.
Now you forgot it again.
It came back a second ago. What? Darn it. Okay, let me think of a closing something. Think that we should have more of these events.
Well, like I said, I mean, you can hear the music going next door. There's still every party of
Everyone's
affiliation is still having a good time. They're over there handshaking, talking. Hey, I like this, I like that.
That's a good sign.
That's a real good sign. The only problem that I have is I went to a meeting the other day and I spoke, and these two ladies come up to me and they just love me to death. Asked for signs, to buy signs for the yard.
Okay.
And I said, listen, I don't have any, but I'll bring them to you. Tell me where to go. They said, bring them by the Republican county office. We're the county chair and the precinct chair. That was my look. I'm like, wait a minute, I'm the Democratic nominee. And they almost fell over. And they're like, we can't vote for you. And I said, well, why not? And she goes, because you're a Democrat. And you guys only vote party line.
That was my question, yes.
And I'm like, if that's all I do, then what do you just said that you, and I'm like, and I gave them my card and I said, listen, I'm just telling you have another option. And then they asked, who is my opponent? And this is the county chair and one of the precinct chairs. And I'm like, listen, guys, I said, just.
This whole thing about the parties, my question
crazy.
was going to be, how do you feel about voting straight ticket? That was my question.
Who does it benefit? It doesn't benefit anybody to vote. You have to vote. You have to vote for what you feel is best. And to me, it's for everybody.
Amen.
It's not for me. If I wanted to vote for me, I say, hey, I want all the money in the world to go to my bank account. Let's go.
Me too. Me too. Include me in that.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. But it don't work that way. It's like, how can I help the neighbor? How can I help this person? I don't care what zip code you're from. Every child deserves to have clean water and good education. Absolutely. I don't care where you're from. And food. And I don't care. I'm gonna figure out how to get kids food if I got to buy their food myself. So it just. Kids, man. That's
the whole thing. That's the only reason that I started getting into all of this. I have a 7-year-old, and things are starting to change.
What I got to say about that is we don't inherit Texas from our parents. We borrow it from our children, and it's our duty to hold it responsible.
We don't inherit Texas from our parents. We borrow it from our children.
And it's our duty to be.
Go into that a little bit more. I'm sure, I love this quote, and I really want people to understand what that means.
That means that the land that I got from my father, that he got from his grandfather and all, it's been in my family since 1880, and that's most land goes down that in East Texas. We're a bunch of landowners and cattle. Now I don't have big properties. I just a small one. But this is Texas. It's ours. Mm-hmm. We got it because our parents did something. Mm-hmm. Okay? And if we don't do something to protect it, then our kids won't have it. We have to take care and get clean water, clean air, jobs. We have to, create.
We have to create good conditions for our children so that we can still have.
Corporations will flourish when communities flourish. Communities flourish when children flourish. Children flourish when they're educated. When kids learn to read, they have a chance. If you don't teach your children to read, it's like I hear. I've heard some bad things about Rogers Park, I believe, over in Beaumont. They're complaining about the kids. This, that. Kids didn't fail. We did.
Parents.
We did. I'm not going to say the parents because not everybody should be a parent.
Well, no.
It takes a community.
Absolutely.
It takes community.
It takes a village. It takes community.
And you have to, you can't just keep blaming kids. There's not a kid alive that can't be helped. And like I said, you want to be better, do better. I'm open-minded. I'm always open for suggestions. You can always teach me something new. But like I said, I don't know everything. I'm never going to say I know everything. Maybe. And now, you get in the floor business, I'm going to tell you I know everything. So, but you get something else. I'm always learning every day. I'm from north counties. Down here, it's different.
Yeah. Oh.
It's different. Our children are different. People are different. Schools are different. Everything is different. So you have to treat it different. Like about the schools. They want to take all these schools and have a state run them and state take over. That's wrong. You elect officials to run those schools. Well, that's because they're from that neighborhood.
Well, yeah, absolutely. When it comes to the young people in the communities, a lot of the demographic that we tried to have out tonight was between a certain age range, around 18 to 35, 45. We want to bring in that demographic because a lot of the younger people are a bit frustrated about how things are going with the separated party lines.
I don't blame them. I'd be pissed myself. My son, he's a little pissed off. Like I said, when I was 18 years old, I started a business. I had opportunities. When I was 20, I got married, had a house, had cars. I was living a dream.
You were 21?
Yeah, I got married at 20. I started my business at 18. I did it at 20 years old, 21. But back then, they had non-qualifying assumable loans. Have you ever heard of that? See, I'm an old man. That's when somebody buys a house and you want to sell it.
You're not that old. Come on.
I'm 60, so when you sell your home, I sell it to you and you just take it over. You just give me my equity. Say I live in a house,
right.
You pay me my equity, like $20,000, then you just take over the note. It's called a non-qualifying assumable loan. It gave everybody a chance. It was before all the credit scores and all this and all the high interest loans and all it's all about money.
So this will be our finishing question.
Okay, one more finishing question.
I know, our fourth finishing question.
Yeah.
I want you to look at the camera.
Okay, look at the camera.
And speak to the younger generation. And let them know why they should give Unlabeled a chance.
Guys, you need to give Unlabeled a chance because this is your future. It's not going to be party against party. You got to stand up and you got to work together. You got to go meet your friend. You got friends, and I already know that my son's at that age. You have friends of all different spectrums, all different nationalities, all different backgrounds, religions. You got to cross the aisle. You got to be. when you're children and you're in elementary school, you don't have labels.
Exactly.
You don't have labels when you're a child growing up and you do well, you are well, and you prosper, and then you get older and people start putting you into those labels. People put you there for a reason. They put you there, they want your vote, they want you to think one way. Like I said, it's hard for me because I'm open-minded.
And we love that, and that's why we're so glad that you came. So thank you.
I'm open-minded. You can change my mind, and anybody wants to get a hold of me, call me and tell me, and yell at me, do whatever. I don't care. So
He'll listen.
I'll listen to you.
I told him to listen.
Yeah.
Thank you, sir.
Want better, do better, be better. So,
Appreciate it. Thank you so much.
Bobby Tillman, Texas State Senate, District 3.